We're going to jump into the NBA trade deadline. This is the cheat sheet. Basically, we're going to try and make it really easy. If you're an NRL or you know your footy, we'll try to relate it back to that because a lot of stuff happens. There's trades going everywhere. It's a spectacle every single year. So what happens is midway through the season, the deadline hits and basically all the sides just go nuts. The ones that are trying to bomb for a draft pick are throwing away all their good players. And the good sides are trying to capture as many players as they possibly can. And so
Is this like baseball where these two teams can trade that other team's player to someone, but then they have to give them cash? Like basically you're all but calling the shots for other organizations as long as they are somehow getting a financial gain or a benefit from it?
Not so much in the NBA. NBA is more about player to player.
Right.
I
okay.
know.
So
there are cash considerations, but it's generally a player for a bunch of players, and the picks come into it. So when I say picks, it's NBA draft picks. So every year, unlike the NRL, where you can just sign every player to the Roosters who are coming through under 18s, this is the way they go through a draft, and there's top 30 for the first round and the second round. So the picks do come into it.
Gotcha.
And the shitter clubs have the better percentage chance of getting the number one draft pick because they finish at the bottom of the table. Hence why they do a burn-off sale and they get rid of all their good players so they can continue to tank for the rest of the end of the year to get a good draft pick. So the first one is a classic. It's the Cavs and the Clippers making a trade. This is probably one of the two. There were probably two really big trades on the deadline. This was probably one of them. So the Cavs and the Clippers, think of it like the Eels and the Roosters having a trade. Like sides that are at the pointy end. Like they're definitely both sides that want to play in the playoffs.
Doesn't mean they will.
But no,
yes.
Exactly. Yep. They're not at the Storm and the Panthers sort of side and the Broncos sort of hype, but they're in that real nice in between. So the Cavs got rid of or picked up James Harden. So he's the beard, the beard?
Yes.
And the Clippers picked up a young guy called Garland, who's a great point guard. So this is essentially like what happened with the Eels getting Pezzett and exactly like the Roosters getting Cherry Evans, a guy on his last legs about to go out the door.
That's actually a fantastic comparison.
Yeah.
I like that.
The upside for the Clippers are they've got this young guy who could pretty much lead their team as a point guard, and the Cavs are trying to see if James Harden can not shit the bed for another year in the playoffs. So that's always a fun one.
Actually, just speaking of, one of our listeners, Marty, played catch up. He's caught up.
Oh, great.
I'm almost certain Marty's got a pretty good story about James Harden. So if you do, legend, let us know what it is so we can throw that out next weekend.
That'd be great in Comment Club. Yes, please do.
Absolutely. All right, what's next? Who's your next comparison? I really hope there's who's like a Moses Sully comparison in there? Someone where people just go, fucking who?
No, I'm trying to keep it less confusing.
Relevant?
Yeah,
relevant. Yeah,
Good.
Gotcha.
Good.
Gotcha.
So Anthony Davis is the next one who got traded. Now he was a part of the worst trade in history essentially last year where Luka Doncic got traded to the Lakers and Anthony Davis went to the Mavs, right? So basically with this one, it kind of closed off the final trade to get rid of him out of the Mavs and close off that part of history of the worst trade pretty much in NBA history. So he was sent to the Washington Wizards. Now the Wizards have been shit for a decade, maybe more. They've never really been good.
No.
So this one hits a little close to home. The Washington Wizards also traded recently for Trae Young, who's a classic three-point shooter who no one wants to play with. So this really feels like a Newcastle Knights type trade. This feels like sending Dylan Brown to the Newcastle Knights like the Wizards have sent Anthony Davis to the Washington Wizards. They're on a hope and a prayer, but two shit players in the back end of their career, and we've got Dylan Brown, and Kalen Ponga. And this would be kind of like sending, maybe like a Tom Trbojevic in a lot of ways to join Dylan Brown. So Dylan Brown's your Trae Young. Tom Trbojevic is your Anthony Davis on the back end of his career.
Yeah,
and hoping that's
time.
Yeah, hoping this guy literally he will get injured getting on the plane to go to Washington. That's how bad he is.
Fucking hell.
The next one, Jaren Jackson Jr. So he was sent to Utah. It is a good name. It's basically a fire sale. This is the Dragons sending a player to the Titans.
Oh, okay. So two shit sides
no point
again. Yep.
Porzingis headed to the Warriors.
Wow.
Yeah.
New Zealand.
Yeah, exactly. And the part about this was like it's one of those random ass trades where you're like, I wonder what the Warriors are probably doing. But the bigger one, this is a one for you, mate. This is one for you. Vucevic was sent to the Bulls to the Celtics. So your Celtics now have Vucevic, and it's like a good side that's contending, like one of the top sides, getting a Josh Papali'i.
Right.
Like, so think about, if the Storm got Josh Papali'i, that would be kind of the same kind of vibe as the Celtics getting Vucevic. Can definitely help their side.
That's very helpful. The way you're explaining it is very helpful. Very helpful.
Got a couple of good stories here to sort of go through as well, but I'll do a couple of quick fire ones. So Chris Paul to the Raptors. That's Tyson Frizzell to Perth. Just an old guy who you just go, how the hell is this guy still in the league?
How's he still playing?
And he's heading to the Raptors, which is in Canada. So Tyson Frizzell going to Perth would be very, very similar. Lonzo Ball to Utah, but they're going to buy him out. And that's essentially like getting Tom Turbo in a couple of years' time. Like a guy that is never going to stay on the field in a couple of years' time.
Yep.
And Alvarado to the Knicks. Now, this one I love. You know I'm a Knicks fan. Alvarado is a fucking pest. It's like getting, like, maybe not as good as James Maloney, but getting a James Maloney kind of guy who can really be a pest in and annoy the shit out of every other team.
When you said a pest, I just went straight to Mick Ennis.
Well, that would also be a good one.
Yeah.
That would also be a good comparison.
Right.
He's probably not at the level of being their skill level, but he's definitely their pest level. There's actually a nickname for him in the NBA called Grand Theft Alvarado, because what he does is he actually hides in the backcourt, and as sides, you know how sides bounce the ball up really nice and casually before they come over half court? He hides and then runs in and steals it off them and goes and takes a bucket. Now, you'd think that you would get used to that. He's done it 50 times. It's unbelievable. And sometimes 2 or 3 times in one game where you go, how dumb are these guys? It's just
awesome.
Yeah.
What?
The highlight trade, though, this is weird because it's actually an Aussie one.
Yeah.
So Jock Lonsdale, Landale. He was in the NBA, NBL.
NBL, yeah.
He got sent over to the NBA. He was playing for the Grizzlies. Now, feel for this poor guy for a second here. He wakes up. He's been traded to the Jazz.
Right.
So he's playing well for the Grizzlies. So essentially that is like going from the Dragons to the Titans. So you've just been woken up, you're off to the fucking Titans. You're like, oh, for God's sake. Then the next day, he's traded to the Hawks. Got traded twice in 2 days, the poor bastard. So he was annoyed. So the Jazz obviously traded him to the Hawks, but the Hawks are actually they're actually a good side. They're going to be okay. They're probably fighting for a playoff spot in the East because the East is dog shit. So basically, he wanted to play that night for Atlanta because they were playing the Jazz, who just snobbed him. And being the Aussie that he was, he could have got on a plane. He decided to drive. He drove 630 kilometers. He had a quick shoot around. He went out and played, scored like 30 points, had 10 boards, won them the game. What a legend!
I just love the fact that he's been signed and then all of a sudden, like, an hour later, they're like, fuck, dude, like, why? Why do we do that, guys?
Isn't it brutal?
Where can we get rid of him to?
Isn't it brutal?
Is sensational.
So the poor guy got traded, and the worst part about the second trade, he got traded for cash.
I mean, that's not bad.
It's bad for the NBA.
Is it?
Okay.
Like,
if you want to... Like, a side's like, I'm not going to give you a draft pick, not even a shitty second-round draft pick.
Yeah,
I'll give you $100,000. Yeah, and like these sides, money means nothing. They're making billions.
Love the.
Yeah, and he played that day. Like they basically said, don't stress, just chill. And he's like, no, I'm playing against the Jazz, and he had a career high. Like it was his best game probably ever in the NBA.
That's awesome.
Isn't it just classic Aussie mentality? Like, fuck you guys, I'm coming down to flog you now.
Shit, you watch, that'll be his peak. He'll do nothing of note from that moment. That's brilliant.
So that's kind of the trade deadline in a nutshell. The big ones that are still sitting there is Giannis Antetokounmpo. So he is the Greek freak. He's one of the better players, reigning, had a couple of MVPs. Awesome player.
What's he doing? Where's he going?
He's going to leave the Bucks. He wants out of the Bucks. They're going to keep him for the rest of the year. They'll trade him in the summer, but that was one that everyone was watching.
Where will he go, you reckon?
It's a tough one because there's rumors of like the Warriors and places like that, but I think the Bucks want big bang for buck and hence their name.
Good pun.
And I think in the off season, they'll have a lot more sides, will have a lot more freedom, and a lot more picks will unlock at the end of the year for them to throw big numbers because they'll probably want like 5 or 6 first round draft picks. For him.
So
there'll be more suitors at the end of in the summer.
You
so
didn't
they're
answer my
wait.
question. Where do you think he will go?
The Knicks.
Okay, done. That's all I
He
needed.
He won't go to the Knicks, but you know how I think we spoke about this before when Kevin Durant was rumored to go to the Knicks, and I was like, I think I rang you one day, and I'm like, is it fucked up if I literally go to like a Bali website and actually get a Kevin Durant New York Knicks jersey before he gets there?
I remember that conversation.
And then he didn't go.
Ready to go.
Yeah, so
that's brilliant.
I might get an Antetokounmpo one. I don't know.
Just do it. Fanatics website lets you print any name you want. We're not sponsored by them. I'm not giving them a plug, but you can get on there and you can get any name you want on a jersey.